Gliffy. What's up? I'm Glyphix. Yeah, I've been away a few months. Guess what I've been doing? Reading Dune. Okay? It's been my entire life. Dune has been my entire life for the last 2-3 months. Okay? And it's not because I'm a slow reader. Alright? It's because I read all 6 damn books. Okay? So, alright, let's start at the top. Let's start at the beginning. I'm drowned in Dune, okay? Nothing but sand in my dreams. So, the first book of Dune is written by Frank Herbert. It was written in like 1965, and it is the biggest selling sci-fi book of all time. Like, it has spawned so much of the sci-fi genre, all kinds of franchises, Star Trek, Star Wars. You see it in everything. And he wrote a whole series of these. So like I said, he wrote 6 of them. I mean, technically that's not all of them because his son wrote about 13 additional ones or something stupid using his father's notes. I'm trying to forget about that because I cannot take any more. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love it. It's just so good, but the books are so long and it's just been every day, man. Anyway, so I wanted to give a little quick rundown of the actual core 6 Dune books because there's a big movie coming out next year. They're remaking it again. And, I kind of wanted to give a bit of a prep starter, anyone that's interested in Dune. So, the general story is it starts off at least set on a desert planet where there's these massive giant worms that produce spice, which is a drug. And the drug allows people to kind of see the future, live a really long life, and yeah. There's also this family called the Atreides family, and the Atreides family goes all the way back to the ancient Greeks. And they have been selectively breeded for millennia. It's basically set in, 20,000 years in the future, something like that. And they've been selectively breeded this whole time by a very secretive group called the Bene Gesserit, which are, they get referred to as witches a lot, but basically they are witches, They can do some weird magic stuff and, they're kind of creepy and secretive and, So it starts off with Paul Atreides. He is a young kid at the start, but ends up getting this ridiculous prescient vision where he can see everything that happens in the future, down to a movement. He can have his eyes closed and be like, you're gonna sneeze. That kind of thing. I mean, he uses it for more important stuff than that, but that's the gist of it. So we start off there. The second book, which is called Children of Dune. No, it's not. It's called Dune Messiah. That basically goes into his rulership over the planet. So he uses this prescient power to gain power over the whole planet and pretty much control the whole solar system, universe kind of thing. Pretty cool. The third is Children of Dune. So that is his kiddos, his little kiddies, who are a pair of twins, boy and a girl, and they basically just go around doing stuff until the end where the son kind of becomes symbiotic with some of the worms in a way. This kind of seems like spoilers, but it's really not because it's so, without any proper context, you're not gonna get spoiled. It's fine. Then we skip about 4,000 or 5,000 years, about 4,500 years, and go forward to that son who's now ruling the universe. And he's undergone some changes, let's just say changes. Moving on, we get Heretics of Dune and then Chapter House Dune. Those last 2 are again set another few thousand years in the future after, this emperor's reign, and they center around the Bene Gesserit. So the secretive faction and doing stuff. Okay, look. The first one is the best selling, and it is the best, with good reason, because the first one, it's so amazing, but it's so full of mystery and such a huge universe and world that, you just want more. Or at least I did anyway. I just craved it. I mean, I literally, like I said, ended up reading 6 of these, and I'd only meant to read 1. Yeah, the first one is definitely by far the best. It's really amazing. The second is pretty great as well. Again, following Paul and everything, pretty good. He's a great character in general, and his prescience and stuff is very cool. The third, which is the Children of Dune, that's very meh. I mean, the main characters are these 2 kids And they're doing a lot of adult stuff, and technically they're kind of adults in children's bodies sort of thing. Kind of hard to explain. I'll be honest, like, it just, the plot line was not as interesting. It was more like a bridge. It was more like a bridge one between the previous and the next one, which is God Emperor of Dune. Now, God Emperor of Dune was actually great. Like, that was as good as the second book, maybe better than the second book. I would put it as the second best book, actually. So if you're going to read them, you know, number one first, then God Emperor of Dune. So then Heretics of Dune and Chapter House Dune, they're basically the same story. It's just split up into two very long books. They're not nearly as good as Gripping. However, as a whole, the series is unbelievable. Like, you cannot beat... The only things that kind of come close are, like, Star Wars before, when it had the expanded universe, and that was all kind of canon. I mean, I know it's still there, but, you know, not quite the same. But then nothing really matches it in terms of scale. Like, not only does it span tens of thousands of years with characters you know, that, again, hard to explain that, but it also covers such a huge amount of space, of literal space. There's like millions of planets involved, but it's all kind of just hinted at. That's the thing, but everything that's happening is on such a massive scale that it makes everything feel more impressive. And it's just absolutely fascinating. You just want to know more. That's why I'm tempted to read these additional 13 books, because I'm like, I want to know a bit more about this faction or that faction or whatever. But yeah, in short, it's a fantastic book. Definitely read the first one in advance of the movie, which is coming out next year, 2020. Hopefully it's going to be good. The old movie was like, okay. It was kind of drawn out though. It was kind of plodding, pretty slow. But there's a couple of fan edits online, so I do recommend watching the original Dune movie, because it has got some cool moments. And like I said, watch a fan edit, which, will improve it a little bit. Right, well, that's it. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for 300 subscribers. And stay tuned, subscribe. I was about to say hit the bell button, no, don't bother. But subscribe. See ya.